Hello students, today we are going to discuss about loops in C. So loop or repetition or iteration. It is a process where part of the program is repeated when a condition is satisfied and the repetition continues till the condition is true or satisfied. So depending on the way of action, loops can be divided into two types. One is entry control loop where condition is checked first or at the beginning when the loop starts, and then only if the condition satisfies the body of the loop is executed. And another is exit control loop. Here first the body of the loop is executed irrespective of the condition, and then if the condition is true the repetition occurs. But here irrespective of the condition the body of the loop is executed at least once. Now let's see, depending on the number of repetition, the loops can again be divided into two types. One is counter control loop. Here the number of repetition is known before the loop execution. They require a counter variable and four clear-cut steps are used here. First is the initial value of counter, that means we have to initialize the counter value first, and then the condition, that is when the loop will start and how long the loop will continue, and third one is part of the program which is repeated, and then the updating statement, that means the statement where the counter value is updated. Another type of loop is sentinel control loop. Here number of repetition is not known before the loop execution. We can only know the number of repetition after the execution, and it depends on what? It depends on a sentinel variable. This variable controls the loop execution. For example, suppose we want to enter 10 numbers, then it is a counter control loop because we know that we are entering 10 numbers. So before loop execution we know our loop is going to continue or going to repeat for 10 times. But if the question says enter numbers as long as you wish or as long as a 0 is entered, in that case it will be a sentinel control loop because the number of repetitions is not known before the loop execution. We can only know after the execution. In C, we have three types of loops. One is while loop, do while loop, or for loop. Depending on your question, you can use or you can say whether the loop will be a counter control loop or sentinel control loop. And which type of loop you are going to use, it depends on you, whether you are using while loop, do while loop, or for loop. Okay, now let's see the syntax of while loop first. While loop syntax says that start the sentence with while, write the condition, don't give a semicolon after while, start the curly braces, write down the statements, and then the updating statement. This is very important. The updating statement is very important because the updating statement will make the condition false. Okay, now let's see how it works. The condition is tested first. And then if the condition is true, then only the body of the loop is executed. That means statement 1 will be executed, statement 2 will be executed, then updating statement will be executed, and after that it goes back again to check the condition. So if true, then the body of the loop is executed sequentially till the condition is true. So if the condition is true, it will again come back to the loop body. If false, it ignores the total block and it comes to the statement written after while block. Let's see an example. This is an example where we are printing 10 numbers, the first 10 numbers. So initially we have taken n as 1. This is our initial statement. Then we have taken the condition as n less than equal to 10. That means the condition, it is written with while statement. Then part of the program, that is printf %d(n). That means we have to print the value of n. And then the updating statement, that is n++. Okay. So when you write this program, your output will be 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. Now let's see the syntax of do while statement. Okay, do while statement says that do, start the curly bracket, write down the statement, write down the statements in the loop block. That means the loop block statements, write down the updation statement, and then write while condition. That means in this case we see that the loop body is executed first and then the condition is tested. So we can say this is a exit control loop. Okay, so here how it works, the loop body is executed first. That means whatever is written inside this curly braces will be executed first irrespective of the condition. Okay, and then the condition is tested. If the condition is true, it will come back to execute the loop body again, and if it is false, it will come down to the statement written after this while statement. Fine. So irrespective, we saw that irrespective of the condition, the loop body is executed at least once. So this is an example of exit control loop. Now let's go to an example. The same example, printing the first 10 numbers, we can write using while loop or we can write using do while loop. So if you are writing the program using do while loop, then the syntax is first initial statement, write down do, then the part of the program, then updation statement, then write while. Okay, you are going to get the same output. Fine. The next is the for loop. Okay, see the syntax of for loop. For first part contains initialization statement. After semicolon, write down the conditional statement. After semicolon, write down the updating statement, and everything written in one bracket along with for. Okay, so this is the most widely used loop in C because everything we are writing in one line, so it is very easy to debug. Okay, after that, inside the curly braces, write down the blocks for block statements or loop block statements. Fine. The syntax rule here, there are a number of syntax variations and there are a number of syntax rules also. Fine. So the syntax rules are these two semicolons. These two semicolons are mandatory or compulsory. Even if you don't write the initial statement, even if you don't write the conditional statement or updating statement, you have to give these two semicolons. Okay. Next is if the loop block contains a single statement, then the pair of curly braces can be avoided. Okay. Next, if more than one initialization or updating statements are present, then they are separated by comma. For example, if you are having two variables a and j, you can write a equals to 1 comma j equals to 10, and after that you give the semicolon. Fine. Similarly, if you are having more than one updating statement, then you can separate them using comma. Okay. And the next most important thing is you can give a semicolon at the end of the statement. Okay, it is allowed. Fine. So if you are giving a semicolon at the end of the for statement, that means it is a null statement. That means the for block does not have any body. It is not going to execute the body of the statement. So if you are giving a semicolon here, only the initialization will be done, the condition will be checked, and then updating statement will be executed. Again it will come back to the condition part. Fine. Let's see the working principle, how it works. It works as entry control loop. First initialization is done, then the condition is tested. If true, then the loop block is executed sequentially, then it will go to the updating statement. Fine. And step 2 and 3 will be repeated till the condition is true. If the condition is false, the statement of the loop block is not executed. It will come to the statement after the loop block. Okay, let's see the same example using for loop. Same int n. Okay, for n equal to 1, n less than equal to 10, n plus plus. That means we are going from 1 to 10. Print the value of n, and then your output will be from 1 to 10. In this case, remember these two curly brackets given after for can be skipped. They can be ignored because this for loop is having only a single statement. Okay, so these are the three types of loops. Thank you.